Yeah. What? This ain't good. This ain't good. Hey. All right. What's happening? We stinking up the field, man. Let's just get down to it. We are stinking up the field. And all these, this is every week with these rumors, man. I heard shit. All of them. All of them might be true. Um, I don't know, man. I sat down with shout out this young man, but I sat down in the casino by a man. He was like, he'd been in the military a whole lot of years, like let's say 30 years. And he was like, I don't understand why they continue to do this. I was like, where are you from? He was like, Maple. All right, but it's true, man. Like the one thing over my existence as a Browns fan of 30 something, I'm gonna say 30 something, probably more, probably since a kid, really. But there are certain things that people just don't do as law. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to investments. Now, this is another part that I believe you protect your investments. You don't like just you know, you don't do that. You protect your investment. So, question is, I don't even think it's a question. I think it's just a statement, like something that I see within them is that you don't. It don't show me that you fully care about your investments. What I'm seeing, I like I know there's only so much money and I get it, and you can only band-aid up what you can at the time. But the thing is, there's just a couple things that I'm just looking at just don't look right. Like I see an excellent. This is another thing I see an excellent defense coach. Already has a reputation for being an excellent defense coach, and he ain't stepping on nobody's toes either. So if he was to come in instead of Stefanski, and I think we would see a significant difference as well. The thing is with Stefanski, if he had backed up a little bit, I don't think he would be in as much trouble now because you. Here's the thing with tanking seasons. If you still tanking seasons trying to get a good pick, bro, like you ain't got a good pick. You're not picking good, but you also got to pick for everything. Trying to fill in so many holes. Like there's that part of it too, and maybe that falls on Haslam and Barry. But I see talent out there, and I think that's why everybody see talent and they like, what is this? I know him. He's like everybody's reputation precedes them, and they're around the draft class, you know, picks that were doing exceptionally well. I'm still gonna say that, but like I've heard other people say, and I feel like to the city of Cleveland, like this is a problem. Like it's a little bit of a problem. Hella years a problem for real. And today was like I'm already knowing. You know what I'm saying? I figured we lose by like 3, maybe 6, you know what I mean? But now if you was seeing any of my shorts halfway, I was like, "Yo, mm-mm. If the defense can't rest, it's over." That's every time. And even worse, now your opponents know that all they gotta do is wait the second half. You know what I mean? I get some clips, I get out there looking like a superstar. For real, for real. So I don't know. Um, but I do got some things that I want to say. Yeah, check this out though. Like what this one thing I'm thinking of doing a post on. Y'all tell me how y'all feel. I think what are what are some areas just like in case we're on the fence, right? About Dylan or Shador. Doesn't matter. And I know a lot of people, I'm gonna get to that next. Just in case we're on the fence, right? I just wanted to comprise list of where both of these individuals could improve at per what we've seen. You know what I mean? And I see everything, a lot of things in duality, just so I'm not missing any part of the picture of where people can benefit or gain from that decision, even if it looks like they lost. So, you know, the things that he needs to work on, one of them, I was like flipping through stuff, like, let me just, I'm gonna make, a list in all fairness of stuff that I see ways you can improve on. Now, mind you, first half. So we ain't even make it to the third quarter. So, anything, maybe somebody wants to add something, but but I the first thing I saw with him is his play action is really rushed. Like he trying to get it over and get to you're already thinking about the pass, and it doesn't fool anybody. When they start running the trick plays, I was hella confused. I was like, your line has not been able to really protect them. So why all of a sudden when we run two elaborate trick plays, that's something that kind of threw me for a loop. And I was just like, okay, Lavardian's gonna throw. He's gonna throw the first bomb. Okay. Bro, are you serious right now? All of this to try to prove that this dude is the dude? Are you serious? Okay. That was number one. Number two, over the middle timing, bro. You did two. I don't know if you thought in your head you hit the blunt and was just like, I'm as good as Patrick Mahomes. I can do them shit. I can do it. But I was over here screaming like, who does he think he is? He's wildin'. You don't have the protection for that type of stuff, man. Have you seen your own protection? Come on, bro. Listen, I'm not ragging, but I am no, but look, I'm not. It's just a place where you can get better in this area. So look, um, I can't get, and you're not the most important thing in this game. You're just not. As horrible as you are right now, sorry, you're just not, bro. Listen, I'm trying to tell you something. I'm gonna say it anyway because I'm gonna end up saying it again. For look, Miles had 5 sacks, bro. What are you doing? What is why do Stefanski, what are you doing? Why do you feel fancy free to to make these kind of decisions and think that that's the best route? I just don't get it. This was like it got to like, okay, we can probably manage this. I came out the gate swinging. All of a sudden, it's just like deficiency. This is wild, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. And this is the reason why I say that because the year before, I've seen where it's been like, oh, you have this kind of talent going on here. And then, oh, it's the coaching staff. Now it's like, now we back to that again. We back to that. And you gotta get together, man. This is weird, baby. Okay, I'm sorry. And that was number two. um, you gotta work to both sides of the field, bro. You're really on your side of the field dominant and calling plays, and they can feel that. So you gotta work on your right side. Yeah, work on your right side. You stick to this side. Like that's why if you notice those picks were more in the middle on your left side. And that makes it even worse because it looks like this is his good side, but he getting picked from this. Everybody's only as good as what you can show right now. So you have some good days, you have some bad days though. You know. It's just- but anyway, you have some good days and you have some bad days. So just keep chopping at it, but you just can't be afraid of the downfield throw. And that's number four. Like this is something you did. Like I'm gonna just combine two of these that I had down, and really this is the same thing. You drop back 10 yards and made a 2 yard pass. Why you doing that kind of stuff, man? You trying to get an eyesight. I know. You know what I'm saying? But the dunks, and this is not gonna work because they'll never be afraid of you. They gotta fear you on a couple different levels, Dylan. They gotta fear you. The long ball coming from nowhere, they gotta fear, you scrambling and you're not using your wheels enough neither. You're not using the wheels. If ain't nobody open, bro, use the wheels, bro. Wheels. If ain't nobody open. Look, man. It is what it is. I don't even know what to tell you. But this ain't him. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think this is why I'm mad at Stefanski. It, you know how we could all want it so bad. You know what I'm saying? It's in everyday life too. We can all want it like really successful, really, really bad, and somehow ideology wise, do more button heads maybe than bringing heads together. You know what I mean? Everybody just pulling back a little bit and being the the super friends or the Avengers. And on your own team, you ain't being that. So there are certain things that I look at in this regime that I don't feel the morale. Like I've commented on this before, stuff that I've seen. There are some players with amazing, aura about them. You know what I mean? And Joku, Miles Garrett, you know, being the top ones that, I think about. And they don't have to be there. They don't have to be there. And depending on another person to take up the slack, it would and does take time. But I don't know. I don't like when people say Jerry Judy ain't this, he ain't that, bruh. Like Jerry Judy been dropping some passes. Don't get me wrong. He been dropping some passes to shit. It's been like sleep, 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 buttery hands, everything. He my dog though, but he just had 1,000 yards last year. So it's not adding up. You know what I'm saying? I've seen this before, like because y'all change quarterbacks so much. Stat 2020, most quarterbacks since 2020, 12 quarterbacks, start quarterbacks. So a person is gonna get a different quarterback every year and a half, is what it's saying, maybe less. I also think Stefanski, you kind of need to chill out. Like you might be getting in your own way. Just that you're getting in your own way. You won't let these individuals is like they vets now. You know what I mean? You can't son. It becomes a certain type of like Joe Flacco has to be his own type of situation too because he like hella grown. So he hella grown. He really don't and known. You know what I'm saying? He's still Joe Flacco. So he's still a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Look at the situation, and you look at somebody who's not having the success that you used to having, or you feel like you know what it takes already. I see how that can probably be a bump of heads, even though they try to minimize it to play it down. But when Joe Flacco said, "Yo, they just let me play," it turned into a different scope for me, and I saw it again today. Today was kind of crazy. They should have won that game, but I got to give it to them. Plays was being made. You know what I mean? Plays was being made, and I I don't see what's going on here. Like I'm seeing some excellent play calling throughout the NFL. Like I feel what Shador was saying, but there's play calling. There's been some good play calling. There's been some very good run calling, and man, shout out to Scatbowl too. That thing looked bad. That looked Nick Chubbish, and I hope not. I hope and pray it's not. Scatterville got a really great future ahead of him. That dude is dope. He's dope. He reminds like how they used to have Raffman back in the day. Like he was dope. But yeah, shout out to him. He seemed to be in good spirits going out too. But yeah, man, I just want to jump on those basically, y'all. That really had me screaming today. I was just like, man, Army dude, he was just like talking and he still was on top of everything. He said, "I don't understand why they don't, white man, they just don't play Shador. Like this makes no sense." And I was like, at that point, I was like, "Really? I think that is Stefanski's pride right now. He just wants to run this thing the way he wants it, and he already didn't committed to it, even though it's going bad. I don't feel he should have committed to this, but it feels like a two. This can go either way. So this can go in Shador's favor, or this can go in Dylan's favor. Obviously, you know what I mean. But the fact that we keep talking or have to talk about Shador right now, that's the part of it that you need to look at the situation for what it is. Like it's time for you to make that switch. You know what I'm saying? Like you should have made that switch mid game. And then now you're talking about he got a back injury. How did he get a back injury? Like I think this was a topic before, maybe last year or something like that. Like he's not even playing in the game. So how is he getting a back injury? I haven't heard Shador say nothing about having a back injury either. And at this point, we don't really trust y'all to tell us the truth about if it is or not. He definitely should have took over in this game. Please. Please. Definitely. Shit whack. Mm. Well, that's all the time we have for today, folks. That's this shit. Yeah, maybe I'll come back with just some more stats. But like, man, in the comments, tell me how y'all feel. Like, I don't really, everybody. It's the Browns, so people don't really take you serious as a fan, looking at the aspect that you look at it as. Like, in the sense of if somebody, if a team sees their team winning a championship, or they have a culture of winning, you know what I mean, and seeing what not to do at that perspective. And Stefanski, I feel like at the time came from that perspective, but there's also some things that he does that kind of throws the whole thing off. Like the balance, the balance is thrown off. So if you like, we just can't continue in this way just because we're here. No, make a change. What are you talking about, man? Like this, it gets real weird, bro. Where you try to stick and commit to something, and you ain't even giving it a time limit. He's the future. We're not seeing the same future. He could be the future, and the next time after if Shador don't do good. 'Cause maybe Shador don't do good. Maybe he does great. But he has more of the potential to make it. And looking at look, this is the other thing too. All right, what did we was talking about? Damn, one more thing. We were saying the guy knew that he was a, I don't know the word he used, but in other words, better thinking on the fly. You know what I mean? And I think that's exactly what it is, to the point that he doesn't want him to change his version or the way that he structured this offense. Now, this is just I'm just an outside looking in person with an opinion and a microphone, just another one. I, you know, but no, truthfully, like that way. So now that we and you see that this is not the way, 'cause this is not the way, bro. Like this was eventually gonna happen. So wow. Yeah, that was wild. But I understand, like, wanting to win and doing everything that's necessary to win. But you gotta be, as an offense, a well-oiled machine. Like your standard is supposed to be above the defense. Your scoring standard. Like this is weird. This is weird. Yo, he's supposed to be this guy, but it's like intentional grounding, all this type of stuff. Like weird, weird, weird. Uh yeah, man. Yeah, what we gonna do? What we gonna do, gang? Like I really don't have a clue. Because it seems to me the only logical clue is to give Shador a shot. But we can't do that, huh? Drake Mays, 18 for 24, 282 yards, three touchdowns, one interception. Dylan Gabriel, 21 out of 35, 156, two touchdowns, two interceptions, and an intentional grounding that turned the ball over. You call that one. And there's one other one that slipped out. I'm telling you, man, like you had a lot of accidents going prior to that. Yeah, yeah. Ugh, bruh. You had a lot of accidents, bro. Well, you know, this was crazy. This is really crazy. Even some of this stuff, it's just like, why was we make that decision? But that pass to the that whole flea flicker situation, nobody felt like this is what I mean. He's not good at play action. He's horrible at play action. He doesn't even go through the full motion because he's not in a rhythm with that person. So he don't know how to make it look, you know, it's just weird, like they never hang out together type thing. Like, the way he hand the ball off, he don't put it in there like pause, you know what I mean? He just like kind of lays it out there and that's a solid handoff, but it's not solid. Like he doesn't even have a long arm reach in that sense. It's not working. And if you watching tape, it might be different than watching the game in the sense that you're seeing what looks different than the other team at the moment and staying in that mind frame. But it's little stuff like that. Because now we have enough tape on Dylan. So the opinions it's gonna be a little different. It's not gonna be, like it was, training camp or just say give him the benefit of the doubt type thing. You have to go up a level. I understand in my own personal life, I'm going up those type of levels. You know what I mean? So I feel you in that sense. This is just the type of thing that people hit me up. Um, yeah, close, close. Um, I'm sorry. All right, yeah, man, but dude, I'm telling you, if I'm pausing a lot, you probably already know the frustration. Says he is going to look at everything but it's Dylan Gabriel. Oh my god, this guy's fun. It's like an Illuminati designed to keep the Browns at the bottom of the total bowl. This is the most ridiculous I've seen, but it's sticking. Bro, you gotta stop. You gotta stop, man. You being too extra. You can't. You don't want your pride to fall. That's what it is, and that's why you doing it. It's not right. It's not right. Or if you feel that way, let Shador fail, and then bring Dylan back. But this is weird. This is just the weirdest thing ever, bro. Oh God, why are we doing this, man? Listen, see Cleveland, surrounding cities, the whole map, all the big cities. It's town, Akron, Dayton, Cincinnati, the lawn. This is the arguments back at the arguments back home side, you got Cleveland on the other side. So these people argue on a different level and they don't care. Like real Browns fans is from the area. You know, and that's all right. That glad I said that. That leads me to another thing, man. Oh, the older Browns fans that got that bread and come support their team, this some stuff they don't deal with. They don't want to see this again. They don't want to see this again. So for them, you got them like you've got them perplexed. How did you and the perplexion is how did you go from here from going to the playoffs or wild card, whatever you call it, back down to back up to back on the way back up again. Like, uh, it's really weird, bro. It's really weird. So, I mean, my thing is this: from here on out, one thing we probably need to do, first and foremost, is start letting somebody take first team reps and quit playing around because this is getting too stupid. We have half a season for you to waste. I don't know what gives you the mindset to think that whether you got the green light or not, that it was okay to just burn out a fan's reputation. Like your honest winning reputation is why you have fans in the first place. So now we're not gonna look at you guys as if this was something that we could sit around and just expect for y'all to just do every time and not give y'all hell about it. You can't because we've been so patient for a long time. You had it going and you sold it away. You keep doing that. I hope you know we could have lost Quinshawn today too. I was scared, man. We're not talking enough about Miles Garrett for real. I hope I hope Sweats is all right too. I don't like that either. Everybody getting banged up in this game because you overworking the defense. Now we about to start losing defensive players when we can honestly have a shot after they put Shador in, and y'all messing it up. Yeah, man. Bro. And then even when he was at the Steelers game, that was funny. When the little boy came up to him was like, "Yeah, when are you gonna start?" And it's like, oh, I know they put him up to it, but everybody thinks it's funny. That's what I'm saying, man. It's we gotta get off this nonsense. This is weird, bro. This is like weird behavior. Like to go for a better culture that was took from like 2018 to set up, and it's just kind of like you smashing it into bits, bro. You trumping us, bro. I don't like it. Like this is weird. This is really weird. You know what we supposed to have right now, but you like play. You really playing. You playing, bro. You really playing. I think that our next move, honestly, needs to be that we gotta secure that running back position before anything start happening over there too. Because I having Quinshawn go out like that, like almost, I'm like, yo, he just got in here. We don't need that right now. Our only power, our only power of running back. Because the other guys are good. Samson is good. Samson is good, but uh, can't hear the other person. What you mean? Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's crazy. That was a crazy move. That was a crazy move. There was a lot of crazy offensive moves in there that were maybe he was trying to spice the playbook up, but it just made me question him real hard because you don't have the offensive line for this. Why are you what is this? You got a quarterback that never throws further than 10, 15 yards down the field, and you're gonna throw a lateral to a wide receiver who's supposed to throw a 60-yard ball? This don't seem right. Something right here is not right. It's not right, bro. It's hilarious, but it's not right. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. Oh my god, man. Hey, listen, my brother about to be funny because he about to be going off for no reason too. Drews, what up? Catch that Drews on his show too if you real like that. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that I think that, like over time, some dudes just get beat up, and Ford had fresh legs when he came out, but when he came out, he was a certain level. He was a good backup to Nick Chubb, but I think that like Quinshawn, he a hitter. You could tell. Like Ford, I think people that's not as physical. Nick Chubb was both. You know what I'm saying? That's hard. And what make him so special was like the Steelers, then had them kind of fullback, halfback sets. The Browns always like, especially at certain point in the 90s and 80s, like, that's part of the AFC North culture. But in the same breath, Nick Chubb was both of them. Like, you know what I mean? Kareem Hunt would take some heat off, and Kareem Hunt deserves a lot of his flowers too because he was 1,000-yard running back a lot of years and just decided at that point, because of coaching, he was great, but he would be a number two. Yeah, he was like, man, I have no problem being number two to him. And he was that still have two great guys, you know what I mean, to take some of this load off. And as you have seen with uh what's his name? I'll just say in Texas, you know what I mean? He's getting back up to speed and he's still more solid. He's still more solid. So, as a Chubb is just a hard person to replace, bro. He's way too hard to replace. Like I feel like, yeah, he's way too hard to replace. I mean, that's a steal for them, and they only gave him a 1 year deal, so we could get him back technically. Tyler Huntley, quarterback in the day, quarterback. At least he was making sure the offense was moving. I don't know. I'm seeing something else, man. It's like this dude Stefanski, bro. You can get a little weird. He's getting weirder side now. He was coach of the year twice. So we being patient, bro. What you throwing is off. This whole thing off, my dude. Like I was in there watching that game in the casino. Like, why did we do that? We was winning. It's like somebody just hit the button. Hey boys, you're scorched. Come on, come back inside. And I told them, second half, if we out there doing the same thing, burning the defense out, having the defense responsible for scoring offensive points, Offense so bad, bro. Hospital balls. Boy, throw hospital balls. Yo, hospital balls are crazy. And I seen the one pass over the middle. It was an actual pass, and he threw this ball over the middle, like kind of behind the dude, and it was like a wild pass. Full pass. Like nobody slapped it. It wasn't no like none of that. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Like, and you still threw for 35. Only got 121 yards. And everything the math is. Mathis is when the math is mathy thing. When the math is mathing, is math. Yo, you threw 20 times. 20 divided by 5 is 100. So it's like, oh, it's 6. So it's 6 yard passes, man. Like, you still got that average. It don't matter how many times you pass it, my guy. You gotta pass it. You gotta complete it a hella times, man. Oh my god, it's so funny. This game was so funny, bro. The game was hilarious to me. I said, now watch the second half. Watch how they throw this away. It's like they came in like dun, 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 dun. That shit went out of control. Man, so look, man, Stefanski, listen, here's my plan. I'm sorry. And I hate to go back to this because I don't like not having a coach for a while. And I don't like when the next guy steps up, y'all fire him the next year. I hate when y'all do that. You don't have to do that, bro. Only thing you gotta do is just make sure everything is consistent with the can coach and came from being assistant coach and he's keeping the culture alive. Let's go. But I know the off season can get some period people in a weird position too. Especially when they come back, everything is new, changed, and you didn't change some of the like front office personnel just it's gotta be weird. So it's like me looking at this in the position I'm looking at it from, just a fan perspective, here. Sir, I don't know if I said this earlier, but when was you gonna tell us you was gonna wait to the end to tell us that Shador hurt his back? Is this why we didn't see him either? That's okay. Right. You took him, put him on the injured reserve list, and you elevated Bailey Zappi, which they said you was gonna do anyway. I'm just saying. Look, man, I don't know if you scared or something, but he's not Deshaun Watson, bro. I don't know if you had a problem with Deshaun, but he's not Deshaun. And I think you kind of upset that him and Deshaun is cool. That's what I think. And I was crystal clear that you and Deshaun Watson didn't have a good relationship. And Flacco said you wouldn't let him play. I don't way he wanted to play. And Tyler Huntley over there running the offense pretty decent from what I seen today in Lamar's absence. Like at least he could run it. I don't understand why like sometimes it'll be almost interceptions in a bad way. Just you already seen as a bad habit, but y'all still let it continue. Miles Garrett, he gonna turn into a deranged animal on y'all. For real. Turn into a deranged animal. He's like going to tear you guys down. If you don't get it together, it's going to be a problem. I am not lying. Like to see, first of all, like I say, Miles, you gotta can't be slamming your helmet, bro. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Slam your helmet if you feel like that. I mean, we're not gonna tell you nothing. You did just get 5 sacks, a strip, and like a couple tackles, something else in one game, and single-handedly almost saved the game, at least for the first half. Again, you can't mess with him. You can't mess with him. Like he owns part of a team already. Man, he owned part of a team. You can't play that over people's head, bro. Like they stupid. Man, come on, man. This is funny. It's all funny, bro. It's bro. How do you go from that incredible to this bad? Now I'm not gonna lie. We already knew that it was an error, when Nick Chubb left, of course. And man, Miss Chubb. You looking decent over there. Decent. Pause. Like you looking real this you know what I mean? And hopefully like we can get him. I'd even take him back. I'd take him back for a year or two. For real. Like not a bad investment. The thing with me is just like certain veterans, they keep in your locker room tight too on top of that. And then Chubb is like, come on, Chubb's gonna go to Hall of Fame with our clips. Like, you should at least let him retire there if it get that bad. Like he holds such a standard as a running back. Like I was good in the weight room, but I was maxed out in the weight room. Like I didn't really have, our high school was our coach wasn't that smart. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't. He was not. You wasn't built for football neither. So like the thing about it is training and conditioning is so important. It's so important, man, and especially when it's these type of situations. And that's what we're looking at is that some of the things that a Miles Garrett brought to us, the work ethic, dude squatting the whole entire earth, like bars bending. No, he's put bro, pay him every dollar he supposed to get paid. For real. Like what? Y'all was killing Drake May. And then at the end, collapse. Like the NFL. And I'm gonna tell here's something else. I'm gonna be mad either way. We're gonna be mad. Because if you cut Dylan, we know it's you. I don't know what's going on with you. Is making really sound de- decisions. You know what I'm saying? Like I that's the way that I felt. Connect over this. But to around I don't feel it. Oh, it feel like something stupid. Like it feel like y'all trying to be slick or something. Like back in the day, you just be like, think you hard, think you hard. Telling you. I'm sorry, man. I'm with them, man. Stefanski, you gotta get the boot, baby. This this is getting kind of bad. It's really getting bad. It's really getting bad. Mm. Look, as soon as I got out of there, I had to roll up. Uh-oh. Yeah, yeah. Okay, sorry. No technical difficulties. I had to roll up. Everybody like fire Stefanski. Cleveland has always had an issue with athletes that fame transcends their sport or market. Um, I think that's fair. I think that's hella fair. Maybe that's probably why Bernie never like exploded. I know like Webster Slaughter, of course, but Jim Brown, but that was just from Jim Brown just being so great, like a chub. Like it, you know, me and somebody else was saying the other day about Stephen. Oh, Paul, I think it was Paul was saying that nah, Kevin Stefanski really don't like superstars. I was like, maybe. I mean, I don't feel like we've had anybody that's hella flamboyant, and I think Shador might be too flamboyant for them. To be honest with you, um, it could be Shador, just that kind of energy. But I his point was that it was the same thing for Baker, and I'm gonna try to get Paul on live today too. He was saying it's the same thing for Baker, and he felt like that was part of the thing with Baker, and I think also it's the fact that Baker is one of them people, and this man, this is the big point. When Baker was here, y'all talk so much, so much when we was winning. Now, if Gabriel was in here and we was winning because of the energy he was providing, see, energy is a real thing, bro. Like some people don't want to accept the fact that the energy that you synergize all of y'all together, that's really what makes this thing work. That's really what make this thing work. So if I'm like in a position where I can look at this and then not honor it for what it is, like that's the part to me that's starting to get weird, bro, because you Shador killing everybody in practice, you know, still killing everybody in current practice. What are we talking about? This is like some of that stuff where somebody like you ever had somebody mom when you was a kid like they son can do no wrong no matter what happens, it was never they son fault, and how dare you accuse them? It- it's that kind of vibe to be like it make it be, that's how he doing her, man. Doing him. I'm sorry, doing him. It's too much of defense. Like even if you are in favor of Dylan Gabriel, you gotta also think that by showing him the wrong, he'll absolutely take it serious and understand. I think a lot of people take the Colorado and Buffalo, like, take those I'm sorry, Colorado and, Jackson, a certain level of school and a certain level of play, and, physicality don't have nothing to do with how much some government is invested in the school, and I know in certain ways, we're gonna say better, culture, better medical and training, like, also, but the spirit, bro. Who is managing the spirit of the team? Like, you can't pay Miles Garrett to manage the spirit of a team. Shout out to Miles, you got extra check. You can't pay that. That's something that somebody gotta wanna do from the inside. It has to be on your heart to be that kind of leader. I'm not saying it isn't, but I do know this. If money was involved, then that means he was already mistreated. And he's like, nah, you gotta pay me for that. That's what that means. It all comes down to money. And especially with him right now, he's honestly like a figure. Like Miles Garrett is still a huge sports figure that don't have to be there. He's a superstar. He's not a star like Russell Wilson, not Russell Wilson. What's his name made the comments about LeBron. See, I can't even do that. Russell Westbrook. You know what I mean? I used to be a fan of him too. And it's like I'm still a fan of him. It's just like for you can't comprehend sometimes. People can be in the same place on two different levels. You're in the same place, same dimension, same game, same team. And instead of seeing that somebody that's higher than you is moving in a certain kind of way, but like you kind of just on some hood, like, oh, that nigga fake. Like, bro, it's cool. Run with that. See where that gets you, bro. Like, you're not there. You were on the same team and you wasn't there. So why would you like people just love to say that shit blow it. Like I don't I'm trying not to talk about it or think about it in that kind of way. But that was really I ain't like that. That was kind of disgusting for them to go on and on about it like that. Um, but that's my point. Like there's a certain amount of pride you gotta let down in order to become a team. We idolize single players a lot. Single player can do, and nobody respects the the overall product of the team. They only respect touchdowns or not turnovers at the least. Here's another example. There are guys like we got Deshaun Watson, and then you got somebody like Patrick Mahomes. Deshaun Watson had some great stats. You know what I mean? Great, incredible stats, but the team wasn't going nowhere. So of course he wanted to lead the team because the team wasn't going nowhere. They get into it. Let's say they put that on him and try to frame it. We didn't look at that like that. We didn't get deep into it and just say, I don't like his relationship with the coaching staff. Why is that like that? Once we got to a certain area, not only should we have been asking those questions, but you know, you can't prevent everything, but we should have seen that as a sign also of not having everything he needed. Like he even still, we had some weapons out there that he could have benefited from, but and you can't really make it a player's fault when they do get hurt, especially these kinds of injuries that require surgery. And you know, before that thing happened with his neck too, and he was balling all that time with his neck like that, just like, no, it's fine. Like we always forget about them things. Or when Baker, the whole thing, he like, no, I don't want to lose my job. I'm playing. Like a bad decision. That was a bad decision. Because it's better sometimes to just quit while you ahead and stand on a certain stat and people have a perception of what's going on or what could happen with you if you're in a certain place. Instead of trying to play it tough sometimes. You gotta relax sometimes. You gotta save some energy, some mental energy as well as physical. So having those people that's leaders like that, a person like Baker with a chip on his shoulders, like he was ready to go. You also had you we don't talk about OBJ in the same kind of way, even though the players will tell you he was amazing in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did he contribute in like spirit? Could not a powwow have happened where y'all could have got these two in the same place? Why are we letting our family members decide what should happen here? Like, what is all these different things going on instead of just locking in? Seeing that that talent is there and locking in. People don't lock in, man. They be halfway in. You know, people was halfway in the stadium and halfway in their Ferrari all the time, and they mind just stunting, and they don't play that good. I'm gonna keep it real. Like they don't play that good of ball, bro. And some of them is my guys. Like, but it's not. It takes a tremendous amount of focus, a tremendous amount of focus, and especially to turn these types of things around. Because now we're here, and once we got 8 games too, the minimum we can go is 500. The likelihood in that is low. So at this point, I do believe the thing of if they get to the last 4 games of the season that they plan on letting Shador play, I believe that now because we're in a situation where it needs to look awful is that you can only stretch this so far until Jimmy has some problem with it anyway. I don't care if he did say he trusts the fans. He can only go so far with it. I don't know if he can. Hmm. The fame transcending the sport uh, and the market is a natural resistance, and they both supposed to be there. Like Cleveland needed to grow. All these places, I feel like they've grown. Like maybe I'm not gonna say all these places. I'll say Cleveland area, even as far as Akron and Columbus. Um, but it's natural because as things elevate, everybody's mindset has to change, and there becomes a lot of change within that area. Some of it's good at first, some of it has a lot of friction, like this little new stadium friction. It's a lot of friction, and I'll say that because everybody of it, as we know they're not in favor of it. So when you also talk about changing, you know, turf, stuff like that, I don't like that at all, to be honest with you. But you know, some of my homeboys is like, yeah, it's gonna balance out. You guys are gonna have all this other things going on in the market, and we just don't care about the market. You know what I mean? That's a them thing. Like that's the money making thing. I just don't get it. Like selling the boy jersey and doing him dirty. And ain't even coming from the same place. And Haslam also just trying to be down with the play because I don't even figure like I don't even think Haslam jumped in on this call for real, for real. I don't think he has. I think he just look. Whatever y'all want to do, y'all better do it. We're playing around. I get weird. But I'm feeling like I feel like in a way we can have some um real vibes either way. Even with Bailey Zappi, if he does do this, but like that's the thing, bro. It's not even logical, bro, for you to hold Shador in that place over Dylan. It's not even logical. He's underhided, which you already knew before you got him. And then when he get here, he can't throw over tall linemen. And we already told you prior to that he wouldn't throw over tall linemen. But no, you just doing what you want to do. That's the that's the most frustrating rest. Okay, there we go. This should blow it, bro. It's annoying. Like, my boy, that was just stupider than I ever expected. Like, I'm totally you already tell I'm off script. I tried to stay on. I couldn't even stay on. Like, it just and Miles Garrett out here sacking the world. Like, what y'all doing, bro? What is y'all doing? Keep it together. Oh, it's the hosting. Hmm. That's a good way to do it. You know what's in this battle. Yeah, this is weird. This is weird. It's hella weird. Hella weird. Lack of discipline. And don't put Miles up. Don't put him up in front of the stand right now, man. Don't put him out there in that press conference. Stop doing that, man. That's ridiculous. You can't even defend you. Like y'all putting bad organization tactics out there. So you either doing it on purpose or not. Or maybe you purposely setting up Shadur to win in a bigger way. But I know y'all gonna try to say that y'all developed them, and we know who the developers were because we saw the developing, and we're still watching the developing. Y'all not there. I don't see y'all none of them videos that seem like y'all took some extra time. Mm. Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna get up out y'all face. I need to get some more work done. I got some more music coming. Jay Drizzy, thanks for coming through, brother. Much respect. I'm sure I already mentally logged off. I'm looking and eating now at this point. It's crazy.